Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I'm really excited to bring you this video because as traders, one of the toughest things that it is for us to do is to actually take profit. How many times have you seen a play of yours rise? You get super excited, you kind of get greedy, you're waiting for it to continue to go higher, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, it drops. You missed out on all of that profit. And if you could turn back time, you would have taken profit. Well, this video is perfect for you. I am going to take you through 5 different trading scenarios, and I am going to help you decide when it's best to take profit in each of these scenarios. Now, this was one thing that once I learned it, it took my returns to a new level. As you can see from the returns that I have been experiencing, it is because I am not afraid to take profit. Now, I know a lot of you are worried about taxes. So if you are in a Roth IRA or an IRA, you can do this all day long and not worry as much about the tax dynamic. However, if you're in a cash account, yes, there is the matter of taxes. So you will have to visit with your CPA and just determine what is right for you. However, I do know that if you start to take profit on a regular basis, you will see your portfolio rise to new levels and you will enjoy the ability to cash up for further dips. So this video is for all of you that have struggled with this, and I hope that it provides some clarity so that you too can join the ranks of people like me and my community members that are enjoying such big returns, especially in this last month. The first scenario I am going to go over with you has to do with swing trading. Now, just to clarify, swing trading is buying a stock at one price and selling it at a higher price. Swing trading usually takes place over a matter of a few days, but typically less than a year. It's very different than day trading. Day trading is something that I don't do, but swing trading is something that I do quite often. So let's talk about when the proper time is to take profit if you are swing trading. Here are 3 scenarios that I consider the opportunity to take profit on my swing trades. 1, if I am 25% in profit on the swing trade, I consider taking profit. 2, if the stock is close to 70 or more on the RSI, then it is getting to the point where it is overbought and I consider taking profit. And 3, if a stock is trading at the top of its Bollinger Band, then I know that it will more than likely be pulling back soon, so I go ahead and take profit. The next scenario that I want to review with you is when to take profit on a sold put. Now, for those of you that don't remember what a sold put is, you are basically putting up the money to buy a stock at a price lower than it is today. In those scenarios, there is a defined amount of money that you can make. And when you see that the stock is starting to go away from your strike price, you start to see that sold put profit. And a lot of people aren't sure, when do I actually take profit? So I wanted to clear that up for you. The vast majority of people will say they'll want to take profit if it's at a 90% or higher win rate. Now, I am a little different. I actually want to leave the trade alone if I'm in great profit, and I only want to take profit if I need to release that cash for a trade that could actually give me more money in the same amount of time. Let me take you into the charts and show you an example of what I'm talking about. Here's a good example of a sold put that has already achieved 91% of potential premium. It's right here. It's Tesla. I had agreed to buy Tesla if it's down to $195 a share by 10/18. So you can see right here, this is 91% in profit, meaning I have made or been able to keep $460 of the premium that I received. So let's go over here and see what's left in the trade. There's $43 left in the trade, which is 43 cents for every share. So you 100 shares of Tesla, that's 43 cents, $43 is left. Now, if I bought this contract back, so if I give back or give up $43 to get out of the trade, it is going to release $19,500 for me to go and make another trade. Well, that makes complete sense. If I can take that $19,000 and go sell a contract that will give me more than the 43 cents a share, then why would I hold on to this play for a mere $43 if I can go sell a different contract on Tesla or something else that allows me to get a lot more than 43 cents left? So that is a reason that I would get out of a sold put early. The next scenario is when you have a sold call. Now, when you sell a call, you have 100 shares of a stock already, and you believe that the stock price is going to eventually retreat and more than likely not hit your strike price. Or you could be doing the wheel strategy where you're completely fine with having your shares called away if the strike price is hit. For starters, I only suggest that you consider selling a call a week out when a stock is in a bullish mode. Now, we know it's in a bullish mode if it is 50 or higher on the RSI. That will allow you the luxury to roll that trade without having to go out too terribly far. Now, when you are selling a call, if a stock is in a bullish mode, then you want to shoot higher than you would typically shoot for a sold call. Meaning, I know we like to look at the top of the Bollinger Bands to look at an initial price, but if that stock is in a bullish mode and the higher it is on an RSI, you want to look above the Bollinger Band if you're trying to secure a good price that you would be okay having your shares called away and you'd be able to then re-enter the trade by buying new shares, or if your hopes are to roll the trade. If you go above the Bollinger Band, specifically looking at delta, if you go below 0.2, you will find that these trades win the majority of the time. Either they're called away at a price that's a fair price for the stock, or you can roll and kick the can down the road, and then the buyers will be exhausted, the stock will retreat, and you will be able to enjoy all the premium you had at 100%. But now you may wonder, so when do I take profit? Well, let me take you into a few scenarios and show you when the best time to take profit is on a sold call. I want to show you an example of a sold call and let you know what I would consider doing with it. Now, when you think of a sold call, because it is not holding any cash for you to enjoy 100% appreciation, then I don't typically take profit on a sold call unless I think that the stock is just retreating for a little while and then it may run again. I'll give you an example. If you look right here on Palantir, I have 5,000 shares, so I have 50 sold calls on it. Now, my strike price is $50 and it does not expire for another month. We're looking at November the 15th. So there is still a lot of life left in this trade. It appears right here that I have another $6,900 in potential premium if I let this expire worthless. Now, one thing you may want to consider is as we get closer to this expiration date, if we start approaching the $50 a share mark with Palantir, then I will more than likely want to roll that trade. As long as I am rolling for a profit, a credit, then I can continue to do that until eventually and hopefully my trade will expire worthless. If not, I encourage you to attempt your best to get as close as possible and then go ahead and consider setting a buy order underneath the price that your shares will be called away. So here's an example right here. If we start getting close to this date and Palantir continues to run, knowing that $50 is the strike price that my shares will be called away, I would want to try to start to reestablish my Palantir position under the $50 mark. And I have that advantage right now because I'm not close to $50. So you want to take care of that before you end up having a situation where there's a big gap from the time your shares are called away to the new point that you buy new shares. Next, I want to talk about one of my favorite ways to trade, and that is using leaps. That is a call option that you purchase a year or more out. Now, on these leaps, I traditionally only do them on a stock that I believe will be significantly higher a year from now. With that being said, I typically don't want to touch this leaps. I will allow it to go through the ebb and flow of the stock price, knowing that at the end of this trade, it'll be significantly higher. So a lot of my students will ask me, gosh, Ashley, your leaps has already doubled. Would you be interested in taking profit? Only will I take profit in two scenarios. One, if I believe the trade is completely stalled out and we've hit the max that we will hit over the next year. Or two, I see that we are getting close to that all-important 3 months out from the trade. After all, once a call option gets to 45 days from expiration, then you have to start dealing with aggressive time decay. So ultimately, I want to avoid aggressive time decay. I usually like to close out my leaps 60 to 90 days from expiration. Now, let's talk about a new type trade that I introduced in a video on NVIDIA here recently. I will leave that in the link at the end of this video. But when I am looking at a call option, purchasing a call option that is 3 to 6 months out, I call that a SKIPS. And what SKIPS stands for is safely keep increasing profits. In fact, I'm in the process of trademarking my name of SKIPS. We've been using them quite a bit in my Discord, and we are making such great money from this powerful trading tool. Now, the reason that I like to do these 3 to 6 months out is, again, I am avoiding significant time decay as long as I close out these trades before that 45-day mark before expiration. Now, on my SKIPS, because they are intended to be a quicker turnaround, I will traditionally close those trades out no more than 2 weeks from the time of purchasing the trade. A lot of times I will close them out the day of. Just this week, we had actually taken out some SKIPS on the SPY, and I was able to close them out in the same day for a 7% profit in one day. That's amazing, because if you think about how traditionally the stock market works, if you have your money in the SPY, on average, you will make about 8 to about 12% per year. This trade made 7% in one day. So much fun. We were all celebrating on our wins. Hopefully you found that helpful, and now you know what to do in a variety of scenarios when you are trying to determine, do I take profit? And just like I tell my students, a bird in the hand is so important, because you may be worried about missing out on future profits with that particular stock, and that's what's holding you back from taking profit. But I can assure you that there is another trade, another money train right around the corner that you can jump on and enjoy significant profits. So I don't want any of you to feel like that you have to just hold on and white knuckle certain trades, and then you end up seeing those trades pull back and you missed out on all the profit. Again, we are trading to make profit. For those of you that are interested, I am offering a unique opportunity for my women viewers. I am offering a boot camp so that you too can learn how to sell options with a lot of like-minded women. Please consider joining, and I will be happy to show you all the tricks of the trade. I will continue to come out with content that helps you trade smarter, not harder. If you're interested in joining my trading community, there is a link below. Remember, if you are trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind.